Welcome back to the channel. My name is Steven. I'm a pharmacist and I own 52 units of real estate. So I had a great question or comment saying that I'm too fixated on paying off my primary residence. Why is that? It's illogical. You're better off just, refinance to a lower mortgage rate and then taking the difference to buy more real estate, or you can leverage it somewhere else, right? So, and I completely agree with that statement. But why I'm so fixated on paying off my primary residence, it's more for like peace of mind. Right? And then honestly, peace of mind is more emotional. It's not logical. It's just more of what makes me comfortable, what makes me sleep at night, right? So it's called a SWAN fund. What helps you sleep well at night? SWAN. So for me, if I were to step away from my W-2 job, which I plan to do eventually when I start to have kids and start to have a family, is your biggest expense is your mortgage. And I just want to wipe that out so I don't have to worry about anything. Right? Like I don't want to worry about anything. And for me, I'm privileged in the sense of like I own a lot of single family homes in California, which I stripped a lot of equity out of to scale my real estate portfolio. I have videos talking about that. But now they're cash flow negative because California, you don't get much rent in California compared to the value of the property and, given today's interest rates. So, like for example, I have a property, interest rate's about 0.7%, but I put out so much equity that I'm cash flow negative, like let's say $2,000 a month. So if I were to, but I have like over $800,000 of equity in this deal. So if I were to sell it, I can take that equity, right? So now I'm not negative $2,000 a month on this rental property, and it's my fault because I put all the equity to go buy more apartments. And don't get me wrong, the apartments I bought now more than cover that negative loss on this property, right? It cash flows $8,000. And that will more than cover the $2,000 loss over here. So I'm still net $6,000, right? For example, because I pulled the equity from this property to go buy this 26 unit apartment complex, and now this one will cover for this property. But this property is still the negative cash flow property is still a gator property. So if I were to sell it, I would wipe out $2,000 a month in negative, take that equity, pay off my mortgage, and now I'm free of $5,500 a month. So I'm now saving about $7,500 a month, right? And that's like most pharmacists' income. So if I can wipe both of those out, now my fiance could probably comfortably step down to part-time. I can possibly comfortably step down to part-time, right? So for me, I know it's illogical. Like maybe interest rates will drop. To me, I have a 6.5% interest rate on my primary, but that's the worst interest rate I have, right? Like my 20 unit has a 6.5%, my 26 has a 4%, my single family homes are like low 3%, right? So like theoretically, if I were to pay off this property, it's the best return on the money. But I could wait because I think interest rates will eventually drop to 5% in 1 to 2 years or 3 years max. And at that point, I can do a refinance and, remove my PMI and then get a lower interest rate, right? But for me, this is just more about peace of mind because like for me, if I step away from a W-2, which is like secured steady income, and I'm going to entrepreneurship, which I'm already starting, there's risk, right? Like real estate, I would be too stressed living off my real estate income because it's inconsistent, right? Like, yes, I cash flow $10,000 a month, but realistically, I'm saving that for a rainy day, for major CapEx. So the real benefit of real estate is the tax advantages. And if I'm full-time W-2, and I'm not married and I don't qualify as real estate professional status, I can't take advantage of that. But eventually when I'm married, my future wife's gonna be part-time. Collectively, we'll qualify as real estate professional status. At that point, I can harvest these losses of depreciation, passive losses, and wipe off our W-2 income and get a fat check from Uncle Sam. Like, I just looked at my paycheck. Year to date, I paid about $63,000 to Uncle Sam, but if I wipe out my W-2 income using real estate depreciation, I'll get $60,000 back in my pocket, which is, if you divide that over 12 months, that's about $5,000 a month tax-free. So I do want to leverage that aspect as well, and then eventually, I would just step away from my W-2 the moment like my businesses take off and my expenses are low. So the wealth equation is income, which is infinite, and then expenses. So the lower your expenses, it will increase your wealth faster too, right? So I want to keep my expenses as low as possible, and my basic expense is my mortgage. So, I get it. It's completely illogical. It's not the greatest return on investment, but to me, I think it gives me a stable foundation knowing that if I go to entrepreneurship and I lose all my money, well, my house is paid off at least, right? And I'm just stuck with a $2,000 a month payment, and I just could go back to be working as a pharmacist, and I'll easily be able to cover $2,000 a month. right? If I had to go back to be a pharmacist. So for me, it allows me to have a foundation to springboard off of, to take more risk, to be able to step over from my W-2 job. Like maybe I just don't want to work anymore. I don't want to do entrepreneurship anymore. I just want to chill, spend time with my family, my friends. That's the whole point of life, right? Like, is not to make, I have more than enough money with a $6 million net worth than I need. So at this point, I'm just playing with house money and I'm catering towards lifestyle. So for me, my biggest lifestyle improvement right now would be if I could step away from W-2 and not feel guilty and have peace of mind doing that. And for me to do that, I would want to pay off my primary residence. So that's why I'm so fixated on it. For me, I have the means to do it because, like I said, I can sell rental property, which negative cash flow, like no brainer. Take the equity, wipe out my mortgage, boom. I just saved $7,500 a month, which is like a pharmacist salary once again. So, and then obviously too, like when you have kids, you have more expenses. So like, yes, I wipe out my mortgage, but now I have kids to take care of, and they have activities, they have daycare, they have healthcare, they have other things and expenses you have to do, right? So it's really hedging that. I know I'm gonna get more expenses, so can I wipe out one expense that I can control, which is my mortgage. So that's why I'm really fixated on it. And like I said, I completely know it's not the greatest return on investment. Like if I were to sell that negative cash flow property, my best bet is to 1031 exchange that, go buy a 40, 50 unit apartment complex in Oklahoma. And if I have 50 units, the average cash flow $200 a unit, that's $10,000 a month right there. I'll cover my mortgage right now. But like I said, it just, minimizing expenses gives me peace of mind, right? Like I live way below my means, which gives me peace of mind. And I want my expenses to be very minimal, right? Because when I was renting, I was only paying like $2,500 a month or $2,300 a month, which is nothing. But now that I have a house and a mortgage and property tax, I'm paying $7,500 a month. So if I can wipe out my mortgage, I just pay $2,000 a month, which is, comfortable. Or it doesn't have to be completely paid off, or it could just be an amount that's comfortable enough for me, right? Like maybe my loan's only like $200,000, my interest rate's 5%. Okay, whatever. Like I can live with that. So that's really what I was thinking and my mindset with that. Like I said, like the point of me buying real estate, pursuing entrepreneurship is to give me freedom, and I want the freedom to do what I want. So for me, my freedom is working on with who I want, when I want, right? W-2 job, you have no choice. If there's someone that you hate working with or you don't like your boss, you're forced to work. But when you have FU money, when you're financially free, you're like, I don't want to work with you. Plain and simple. Oh, I do want to work with you. And I can choose what to work on. Like at work, you get assigned projects you don't want to do. But when you're free, you can do whatever you want. So for me, I want the resources to do whatever I want, which is freedom. And the next thing too is I want to have a fit body, right? Like be healthy, stay in shape, because health is wealth, right? When you're healthy, you want 1,000 things. When you're unhealthy, you want one thing, which is to be healthy. And the last thing is you want peace of mind. So peace of mind is super illogical. It's super subjective, right? And for me, peace of mind is having a large cash reserve, which makes no sense. Like it'd just be sitting in a treasury bond or high yield savings account, as well as a paid off house. Like for me, those are like my two peace of mind funds, because I just want to have an exorbitant amount of money that I'm sitting on that's in treasury bonds, and I want a paid off house so that if something were to happen in my business, I can cover my expenses the whole time. So that's kind of my goal, and that's kind of like my objective, right? And that's why I'm playing the game. And any money I make after this, it's just house money at this point, right? If my mortgage is paid off or very low, my expenses are low, I have a large cash reserve. Any money that I make or lose, I'm not worried about it, right? But at least pushing myself and pursuing my passions, right? I can lose $100,000 and not bat an eye, or make $500,000 and not bat an eye either. Or my call life won't necessarily change that much either. So for me, it's just playing the wealth building game just because I like to play the game, right? It's actually enjoyable for me to push myself, see how much money I can make, but I know that it's not going to improve my quality of life. So that's why the 3 metrics of wealth is the resources to have freedom to do what you want, number 1. Number 2 is a fit body, because health is wealth. And number 3 is having peace of mind. So a lot of people are fit and they have money, but they have no peace of mind. That's where a lot of people fall into depression. Like a lot of celebrities, a lot of athletes, that's where they downfall, right? And I fell into that too. So for me, I want to, now that I have all the resources that I need, I want to optimize towards health and optimize towards peace of mind. So anyways, if you want to learn to buy some multifamily real estate with some guidance, check the mentorship program. Let me know if you have any questions or comments. Please like, comment, subscribe, or share this video with somebody. I hope to see you in the next one. Thank you so much.